Welcome to My Conversation, a presentation of KAIL-TV My Central Valley. So let's get My Conversation started.
Hello, good Tuesday morning. Welcome to another episode of My Conversation right here on KAIL-TV, My Central Valley. Austin Reed hanging out with you. Thank you so much for waking up with us and continuing the week. We've got a fantastic show ahead for you today right here on KAIL. Grizzly Fest is coming right up. We've got the promoter in-house with us today, and then a little bit later on, we're going to be talking to Vince Cortez, a sponsor of My Conversation from Dope Barbershop. And after that, have you heard of Legends in Comics in Fresno? Well, the owner is in-house today, so it's a great show. Let's get My Conversation started. My first guests, let's give it up for the promoter of Grizzly Fest and the owner of Dope Barbershop. Good morning, guys. Give them a nice round of applause. Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Vince Cortez from Dope Barbershop.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a sponsor of My Conversation.
Right. Thanks for having us back.
And then also Aren, he is a promoter of Grizzly Fest.
Thanks
Good
for
to
having
see
me
you,
on.
man.
Thanks, Austin.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Great to see you too.
So, okay, the reason why we're doing kind of a two-in-one segment is because Dope Barbershop and Grizzly Fest, you guys are working together.
Yes, we are.
Is that right? You want to kind of go into more detail on that for me?
Yeah, so we were approached to maybe do a sponsorship out there for Grizzly Fest, and I thought it just went hand in hand with what we do in a barbershop and what he's got going on at Grizzly Fest. He's turning it actually into a big art deal, and we like to think of ourselves as artists too. So I think it went hand in hand. And then we brought in Red Wave Tattoo, which we'll get to meet them in a minute, but. It was a no-brainer to do it and to get our name out there and to get people interested in what we're doing. So, yeah.
You've got a lot going on this year at Grizzly Fest. A lot of names, a lot of art. I mean, it's something for everybody, it seems.
That's the goal. I mean, when I spoke with Vince, barbershops go hand in hand with hip hop, I feel like, and that's one element of this festival that we have. So. We have, the art house curating one of the largest art hops of the year, and I figured what better way to be, incorporate the barbershop was to have them cut hair live at the festival, and then he's partnered with Red Wave Tattoo, and they're good buddies, and let's add a little bit of the tattoo element because they're artists as well.
Right.
So a lot of individuals that are into the art scene sometimes become tattoo artists, and vice versa. They may become barbers and so forth. So it's just an awesome marriage to have there. And plus, if people want to get a nice haircut and look nice that day, if they forgot, they woke up and look a little musty, they can get freshened up at the event. And if they want to get a little tattoo and feel a little, a little hipper,
they will remember that forever.
Yeah. Right. So it's just a little something for everybody. I mean, the event has really grown into something of its own.
You started this, 4 years ago?
Yeah, started originally 2012 was my first year. Then I was down south living over there, managing Fashion at the time, and we took a 2-year hiatus. He released his album, so I had to step away. And then when we came back, I said, you know what, I'm going to do this even bigger and better. So 2015 was my second year, and that's when we did it at Churchansey Park the first time. So from that to now, it's really grown. It's become an amazing event. We get thousands and thousands of people that come out throughout the day, so it's an awesome time. You definitely got to check it out. It's something that we don't have here in the Valley, that's for sure. It's
different. It's totally different, and it's kind of a perfect time to do it too, because we're ending April, we're getting into May, we're getting into the summer months. So the weather, hopefully the weather will cooperate, and we'll have some nice, maybe temperatures in the 80s and sunshine. Can't beat that.
Regardless, it's rain and shine. And
even if it's raining,
on the best
it's okay.
day of the year, actually. It's actually on my birthday this year.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
I like to say I'm throwing myself a nice birthday party for the city. So it's just something. But yeah, the weather's perfect. It's festival season. Festivals are what happen around the United States, around the world, and we just lack that here. We really lack national level music and talent here, and then we blended that with all the local businesses and all the local talent we have here as well. Fashion being one of them. That was a really big partner of mine. To make this something a little bit bigger than what it was.
Lupe Fiasco?
Lupe Fiasco is
huge name.
Yeah, Grammy Award-winning Lupe Fiasco, E40. I mean, it doesn't get as iconic as him. This is his 4th decade that he's still in the music business, and he's still relevant as can be. Yeah. We have Revolution, which is a reggae group from actually Santa Barbara. They're one of the largest reggae rock groups in the world.
Okay.
They're huge. We have Collie Buds. We have Dr. Dog from Pennsylvania. They're an indie rock group. They're like legends in their own right. So the groups we picked, I mean, they're pretty large names, and it's only getting bigger. Every year we're expanding it. I'm kind of taking it year by year to see how much bigger this can get. And so far, the community has been amazing. The partners we've had, like Vince and the Fresno Grizzlies in years past, and even this year, to Heineken, to Dodge Ram, to Car City. There's all these partners we've had. They've been amazing. They're the ones that truly are able to make this happen and make this work. And this year, the city of Fresno actually is coming on board and really putting themselves behind this event and really utilizing this as something that people in Fresno have. And it's been a really, really awesome feeling to know that I'm doing something that people actually appreciate, rather than, I'm just a guy that's trying to throw a show or an event. I'm trying to really do something.
So this is about bringing the community together.
Look, I mean, I don't really have to do this. I do this because I have a passion for music and I love it, and I love art, and I've been doing it for over almost close to 20 years now, since I was at the end of my high school years, DJing and producing, and I've worked for artists like Kanye West. I've worked with a lot of the best in the world. And when I came back to Fresno, I'd always see a lack of, people doing things the right way. You can do things, but you could do things the right way, or you can, kind of shortchange yourself.
Yeah.
And I always felt like if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be quality. I'm gonna spend what I have to spend to make things right and to give the people of Fresno and the Central Valley something they can be proud of. That's just been my motto since day one. So I mean, that's kind of how I take that approach.
We got about 30 seconds left. Anything you want to add, Vince?
No, what he said.
What he said.
Right.
We'll end it on that note.
But I would like to say that I'm really excited about having more of the exhibits grow with the festival this year. The artists are one thing, but to me, I'm most excited about all the exhibits. We have the largest skate demo that's happening with Grizzly Grip Tape, which some of the best skaters in the world are coming down to.
Sweet.
We have 59 Days of Code and Bitwise. They're doing a huge tech exhibit. So there's so much more, and that's what I'm excited about most, because I want to see how people react to that, because I think that's all amazing stuff being done in our community.
Saturday, April 29, 2017, downtown Fresno, Chuck Chansey Park, all ages, gates open at 2 o'clock. More about this coming up right here on My Conversation with the owner of, we're going to talk to Rico, the owner of Red Wave Tattoo. So do stick around.
This episode of My Conversation is sponsored by Dope Barbershop, an old-time barbershop experience with a modern feel. This episode of My Conversation is sponsored by Dope Barbershop, an old-time barbershop experience with a modern feel.
My Conversation on this Tuesday morning continues. Welcome back, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm Austin Reed. Of course, My Conversation weekdays 10 to 10:30 right after Access Hollywood Live, only on KAIL. Earlier we were talking about the Grizzly Fest. It's coming up at the end of this month. Well, let's continue to talk about that. My studio audience, please welcome back Vince Cortez, the owner of Dope Barbershop in Fresno, California. And now we've got Rico, the owner of Red Wave Tattoo. Give him a nice round of applause, everybody. Vince will kind of explain why Rico's here now.
Yeah, so when we were approached, like I said before, by Aren for Grizzly Fest, he said he wanted a barbershop out there to do some cuts and stuff, and thought it'd be a cool concept. And when he started explaining, what he had going on there, as far as all the art and all that stuff and the art hop, the first thing that came to my mind was Rico, because he's one of the best artists I know here in Fresno. Cool. So I get all my tattoo work at his shop, and I was thinking, what better way to implement, art into what we're doing than have the tattoo shop come up and join with us, and maybe they can do some, some little tattoos or something of people that, want to, commemorate, a memory or something like that of being out at Grizzly Fest. So I asked him, and he was all on board. So that's how it came together. And
then you work with Aren now, the promoter, of course, of Grizzly Fest.
Yes, Aren's awesome. Aren's been doing big things in the Valley for many, many years. And like he said, he moved away for a while. He did big things out there. He brings it back home and he gives back. And that's one thing that I got a lot of respect for Aren in that regard too. He brings it back home and just really blew up at Grizzly Fest, and it's an honor to be part of that. And thanks to my buddy here for thinking of me. Yeah. Always appreciate that. And I watched this guy also, blow up physically, and now as a businessman, and I'm proud of him. So yeah, we look out for each other.
That's good. That's good. And that's what we have to do here in Fresno in Central California. That's what makes us unique, I think, too. Absolutely. Especially in the Central Valley. Now, Rico, tell me a little bit about Red Wave Tattoo. What makes you guys different?
We've been around for 11 years now, And when we first started, the normal type of shop was pretty much a pick 'em and stick 'em, you know, and we wanted to bring a whole different element at the time that wasn't really seen, and that was bringing an art gallery within the studio. And we would pretty much showcase our own artwork. You couldn't pick a number 22 off the wall and get that tattoo. You tell me what you want, give me some ideas, and I draw it up and customize it for you, and that's what goes on your body. So we had a whole different approach. And I like to say that, you know, I'm proud it inspired a lot of other shops to kind of step on board and kind of, we raised the bar. They stepped in. Now there's a lot of talented tattooers and some really nice shops around. And, you know, I just like to really take some pride that we set a new standard around here and really took it to the next level.
I'll be honest, I don't have any tattoos. But as I'm as I'm getting older, I do have my 2 daughters now, and I do want to get something that I've been thinking about it. Okay, so with somebody like me, what would you do? You see people like me walk in that say, "Hey, I've never had a tattoo before, but I'm thinking about it."
Right, absolutely. Every day, somebody comes in new, they're excited, they're ready to take that next jump, and I always let them know, hey, for your first tattoo, you want it to be, if you want it simple or you want it big, I could do it either way. But if you really just want to know what it's like, there's only 4 letters in my name, we could do it real quick.
I like that. I like that.
But no, on a serious, you know, we take the time. We take the time to really kind of give you some ideas too, because, you know, names are cool and all that. But if there's something that's more significant, like if your daughter likes a certain flower or a toy, you know, and you just want to get something small like that that makes you think of her, and there we go. We figure it out.
You work with everybody.
It doesn't matter. Everybody. I'm talking from all walks of life. You know.
And you're never too old to get a tattoo either, right?
No. I have a couple right now. I won't say their names, but they're in their 70s. They're beautiful people.
Okay.
So much fun. We have a great time, and they're getting tattooed all the time, and they love it. And we have fun, and that's what it's about.
I bet it makes them feel younger too.
It does. You know what? It puts a little bit of spark in there, and I tell them when you go home, and the sparks start flying, you're welcome.
Think of this guy. That's great. So Vince, update us on what's happening at Dope Barbershop in Fresno. It's been 4 months now.
Yeah, business is booming. We're taking off, kind of a whirlwind, but very excited of the direction that we're headed, and we're just going to keep continuing to do things like this to get our name out there and promote the shop, and try to take that next step and try to level up a little bit. And you know, our goal is to not only take over Fresno, but all of the Central Valley. So we're going to keep on plugging.
Let me say this.
Sure.
I'm proud of this guy. I've watched him really take his shop in a direction like none other. And I will say it's, you know, it's refreshing to see what he's doing, you know, because he's raising the bar for barbershops. You know, he's setting new standards, and, you know, he's avoiding the trends, and he's getting right into something that's original with his shop, with his crew, and even with the cuts. Like they're always looking to be more innovative and to take it to the next level. And I got mad respect and love for this guy, and that's why we're gonna continue to cross promote and team up.
So you gotta check out Grizzly Fest this year.
Thank you.
These two. I love it. All right. Grizzly Fest. Promo that real quick.
Yeah, so we will be out there.
Left.
You'll be out there as soon as you're going to walk in. You're going to pass the art hop. You're going to see our booth. We're going to have some panels up there with some art. You'll be seeing people getting haircuts. You'll be seeing people getting tattooed. Come by, say hello to us, have a beer with us. We'll be out there all day.
And collect a tattoo.
And collect a tattoo.
Mark that milestone of going to Grizzly Fest 2017.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Great to see you
All
again.
right, thanks, Austin.
Good to
Thank
meet
you,
you.
Austin.
Thank
Great to
you.
meet you.
Appreciate it. And thanks for being a sponsor of My Conversation, Dope Barbershop. Thank you for joining us, everybody. A great show. We have much more for you on the other side of the break. Please stay tuned.
This episode of My Conversation is sponsored by Dope Barbershop, an old-time barbershop experience with a modern feel.